Hormozy said this, "It is my responsibility to get the value out of something that I enroll or sign up for."
If this thing's going to be successful, I'm going to learn from the top franchisees and the ones that are making money. It's hard to be a franchisee in a system where 10% are making money and the rest are bleeding money every month. Like that's not a good franchise system.
I feel like, and this is a good pivot to the franchising side in that Hormozy said this, "It is my responsibility to get the value out of something that I enroll or sign up for." I think, there's a lot of franchisees or franchise buyers that buy a franchise and they're pointing the finger at the franchisor. It is your responsibility as a franchisor to make me successful. What's your take on that?
Well, let me back up just a little bit. But first mastermind that I joined, I was part of it for a handful of years, and that's where I got to know Alex Ramosi. And we spent several, like probably 4 or 5 hours in small group settings, having lunch with him and Layla. And this was before he was really big, like he is now. And that's where, he's like, let's trade cell phone numbers. And I wasn't doing anything with it until I needed something. And it wasn't even for me. It was for a friend that was in the gym industry that needed help with lead generation stuff. And so I'm like, hey, let's get together. Let me put you in touch with Alex because you might want to do something like that. And so I was walking in my yard and we have chickens and roosters. And all of a sudden the rooster starts, crowing. And Alex is like, "Is that a chicken I hear?" And I'm like, "Yep, that's my rooster." And then Alex was on my podcast, and during COVID came into the Facebook group to help, just for some free help. So, just going back to the power of a network. Now I'm not sure if he'd even return my text today because he's gotten so popular. Let's be honest here. But that's, just another point of the power of like spending your time in the right rooms. So the question was, if I understand it correctly, is the franchise, who's responsible for the franchisee's success?
Yeah, like what's the level of responsibility and the balance between that?
As a franchisor, I probably put more responsibility on me, or as I'm coaching our franchisors at Front Street, advising them, I'm probably putting more of the responsibility on the franchisor. As a franchisee, it was all me. Like I put the responsibility of success on me, and I needed the franchisor to do certain things that they promised to do, like having some marketing collateral for me, and best practices, the training that they would give me. But like, if one of my mentors like would always say, if it is to be, it's up to me. And I that's what I really believed as a franchisee and all the different franchises that I've been a part of. And I saw the best franchisees were taking the responsibility for themselves. Now, it's not that they were always happy with the franchisor or they thought everything was always great, but they're like, if this thing's going to be successful, I'm going to learn from the top franchisees and the ones that are making money. So the way that I kind of, if I had kind of had to combine those two thought processes that I have, if there are successful franchisees in your system, because there's always outliers. There's brands out there that you and I both know about. The franchisees are not successful. Like none of them are successful. It's hard to be a franchisee in a system where 10% are making money and the rest are bleeding money every month. Like that's not a good franchise system. And that's not the responsibility of a franchisee to be successful in a franchise system like that. But I would say an average franchise system has the top third, the bottom third, and the middle third. And if there are franchise third that are losing money, a third that are making some decent money, and a third that are making really good money, then the responsibilities on the franchisor is probably doing what they need to do as a franchisor. My responsibility as a franchisee is to spend time with the top third ignore the bottom third. Don't really learn from the middle third, but spend time, become friends, add value to the top third, even though I may be in the bottom third at that time, or I may be in the middle third. But the responsibility on me is to spend time with the top third. What are they doing? How are they doing it? Don't look at everything that I'm doing that they're doing. Look for the things that they're doing that I'm not doing that I should be doing to be in that top third. And then the responsibility is on me to get into the top third. Because if the franchisor has that top third already, then why is it the franchisor's job to help me get into that top third? And I think franchisors in general focus on the bottom third and that middle third, and because that's where they spend most of their time. So the franchisor doesn't even really spend a whole lot of time with the top third because they're winners, they're rock stars, they're A+ business owners. So that's my kind of global view on how to be a successful franchisee and whose responsibility it really is.
If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.